You got a raise this year. Maybe 3%, maybe 5%. You felt good about it for about a week. Then the grocery bill came. Then the rent notice. Then the car insurance renewal. And somewhere between opening those envelopes, something felt off, like you were running faster but the finish line kept moving. Here is the truth nobody at your job will ever tell you: that raise you celebrated? In real terms, you likely just took a pay cut. And the worst part is, it was designed to work exactly this way. Most Americans believe the same thing. Work hard, get promoted, earn more, live better. It is the promise baked into every career counselor's advice, every motivational speech, every LinkedIn post about hustle. But there is a number that quietly destroys that entire equation every single year, and most people never look at it closely enough to understand what it is actually doing to them. That number is the inflation rate. And before you roll your eyes and say you already know what inflation is, you probably know the textbook version. What very few people understand is how it operates as a slow, invisible tax on your time, your labor, and your future. Right now, millions of Americans are working harder than their parents ever did, earning more dollars than ever before, and somehow ending up with less purchasing power, less savings, and less financial security decade over decade. That is not a coincidence. That is a mechanism. The question is, are you going to keep running on that treadmill, or are you going to understand how the machine works? Let us break this down in a way that actually lands. In 1970, the median American household income was around $10,000 a year. A new car cost about $3,000. A house in a mid-tier city cost around $23,000. A year of college tuition at a state university ran under $500. Fast forward to today. Median household income has climbed to roughly $75,000. Sounds like progress. But a new car now costs over $48,000. A home in that same mid-tier city runs $300,000 or more. And state university tuition? Anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 per year. The numbers went up, but the ratio got worse. Your dollar buys a fraction of what it once did, and your salary, no matter how many times it has been bumped up, has not kept pace with the things that actually matter: housing, healthcare, education, and food. This is what economists call the purchasing power problem. And it is accelerating. Here is where it gets uncomfortable. When the Federal Reserve reports 2 to 3% annual inflation, that sounds manageable, almost harmless. But let us apply basic math. At 3% inflation per year, prices double in roughly 24 years. That means if you are 30 years old today and you retire at 65, the cost of everything around you will have more than quadrupled in that window. And your salary? Unless you are aggressively negotiating, switching companies, or building income streams outside your job, it probably will not come close to keeping pace. But the inflation rate you see reported is also not the inflation you actually live. The Consumer Price Index, the official measurement, uses a basket of goods that has been adjusted, reweighted, and modified over the decades in ways that tend to produce lower reported numbers. Categories like housing are measured through a concept called owner's equivalent rent, what you theoretically could rent your home for, rather than what it actually costs to buy a home today. Healthcare costs are smoothed out. The result is a number that is politically useful but practically misleading for anyone trying to build a life. The inflation that hits your actual budget, rent, groceries, childcare, insurance, utilities, tends to run significantly higher than what the headline number suggests. Now here is the part that most financial content skips over because it makes people uncomfortable. Inflation is not an accident. It is a policy choice. Modern economies are built on a foundation of controlled currency expansion. Governments spend more than they collect in taxes. Central banks create money, digitally, systematically, to cover that gap and stimulate economic activity. More money in the system chasing the same amount of goods means each dollar is worth slightly less. This is not a bug. It is the intended feature of a debt-based monetary system. And who benefits from mild, steady inflation? Primarily, governments, large corporations, and asset owners. When a government carries trillions in debt, inflation quietly erodes the real value of that debt over time. $1 trillion owed in 1990 is worth far less in real terms today than it was then. The debt is paid back in cheaper dollars. Corporations with pricing power raise their prices with or faster than inflation, protecting their margins while your paycheck adjusts on a one-year review cycle, if it adjusts at all. Asset owners, people who own property, stocks, businesses, hold things that tend to appreciate in value as inflation rises. When the money supply expands, those asset prices go up. Their wealth compounds. And workers who hold cash and collect salaries? They absorb the loss. Every year you sit in cash, you are slowly donating value to the system. This is why the gap between asset owners and wage earners grows wider every decade. It is not purely about effort or talent. It is about what form your wealth is stored in. Understanding this is not meant to paralyze you. It is meant to redirect you. The first and most important shift is this: stop thinking of your salary as your wealth. Your salary is your income, a stream of cash that arrives and leaves. Wealth is what you convert that income into before inflation can eat it. Every dollar that sits in a savings account earning less than the inflation rate is a dollar that is quietly shrinking. The money does not disappear from your account, the number stays the same. But its purchasing power is bleeding out month by month, year by year. The people who escape this trap do not necessarily earn more. They convert faster. They take income and move it into assets, index funds, real estate, equity in a business, things that tend to grow with or faster than inflation over time. The second shift: renegotiate aggressively and often. Loyalty to a single employer in an inflationary environment is a financial liability. The data consistently shows that people who switch jobs earn significantly more over their careers than those who stay and wait for annual reviews. Your employer is not adjusting your salary to preserve your purchasing power, they are adjusting it to retain you at the minimum necessary cost. Know your market value. Move when the gap between what you earn and what you could earn becomes significant. Use every dollar of increased income to accelerate your asset conversion, not to expand your lifestyle dollar for dollar. Third, financial literacy is now a survival skill, not a hobby. Understanding how money works, how inflation operates, how assets compound, this is the difference between working your whole life and building something that works for you. The wealthy do not just earn more. They think about money differently. They understand the system well enough to operate inside it strategically rather than being operated by it. Finally, diversify your income. A single salary in an inflationary environment is a single point of failure. A second income stream, whether freelance work, a small business, dividends from investments, creates resilience. It also critically creates options. Options are what financial freedom actually feels like. Here is the hard truth that ties all of this together. The inflation trap is not a conspiracy. It is a structure. And structures do not care about your work ethic, your loyalty, or how much you deserve a better life. They operate on mechanics, not morality. The people who build real financial security are not necessarily smarter or harder working than you. They understand the difference between earning money and protecting it. They understand that a salary, no matter how large, is a starting point, not a destination. You can keep celebrating 3% raises while prices climb 4, 5, 6%. You can keep waiting for the system to reward you the way it promised it would. Or you can look at the numbers clearly, without sentiment, and make a different set of decisions. The treadmill does not stop, but you can choose to step off. The question is not whether inflation is happening to you. It already is. The question is what you are going to do about it while you still have time.